Yes, this is your boy Warzone Jones, and I want to talk about a guy who is the best there is, the best there was, and probably gonna be the best there ever will be. I'm talking about Anderson Silva, MMA fighter. The man is pretty much a legend now. The guy who just not too long ago got through beating Chael Sonnen for the second time in a row. Whatever you want to say about Anderson Silva that you dislike about Anderson Silva, those two fights that people have questioned about them being boring and he didn't do enough. I can understand why you might bring those up and you might hate the man for it, but around this time, because that was 3 years ago, if you're still holding on to that, let it go. Just let it go. Anderson Silva is the greatest of all time. Dana White markets him that. So if he's not necessarily the greatest fighter of all time, he damn sure is the greatest UFC fighter of all time. There's nobody in the UFC that has defended their title 10 times in a row. 10 times in a row. Who else has done that? You take the guys who are arguably the greatest UFC fighters to ever fight in the UFC, they haven't defended their title 10 times in a row, from Chuck Liddell to Randy Couture. The list goes on. Matt Hughes, the list goes on. Anderson Silva, he's the greatest. He's the greatest, and he's proved that. He is so damn good that he make his division look whack, bad, and uninteresting. And it's like, who is he going to fight next? That's the question. Who is he going to fight next? Who the hell is he going to fight? He knows that his division was not that stacked, so he went and fought in another division, the light heavyweight division, because he wanted to be part of the most interesting fights in the UFC. Because at one point, there was literally no contenders in the middleweight division. So he went and he fought in the light heavyweight division. When I first saw Anderson Silva, he was fighting Chris Levin. And I'm thinking, maybe Chris Levin is going to beat him. I didn't know nothing about Anderson Silva. This is when I was really first learning about MMA. Chris Levin, I knew him from Ultimate Fighter, and Anderson Silva, to me, he was just some black guy. I know he's not really black, but to me, I thought Anderson Silva was black. He was just some black guy, in my opinion, but he does look black. But I didn't know nothing about him. I didn't know he was that damn good, and he seriously murked Chris Levin. He destroyed him. He beat him very quickly, and I didn't like Chris Levin's attitude. I didn't like him at all. To me, he was just this, cocky jackass talking shit and then crying after he lost. Would lose a fight. That's how I felt like Chris Levin was. But he tore Chris Levin up. He landed every punch, every kick, every elbow, just about everything he threw at him, he landed. I'm like, whoa, this guy's good. He's real good. He's great. Perfect striking is what you're going to get from Anderson Silva. Like, when this guy throws a 4-punch combination, 2 or 3 of those punches are going to land. And they're probably going to put you on your ass because the man is that good. He for damn sure is probably the greatest stand-up fighter of all time. So, you can bring up guys like Chuck Liddell, Mirko Cro Cop, whoever. This man is going to go down as probably the greatest stand-up fighter ever. And he's clearly well-rounded. Whether it be on the ground, he finishes guys on the ground too. He finishes guys standing up on the feet. Don't get me wrong, his wrestling, what it is, Anderson doesn't have great wrestling, obviously, because guys take him down. Guys who aren't even wrestlers, can even take him down. But though you can take him down, can you finish him? I haven't seen anyone prove it. I haven't seen anyone prove that they can finish Anderson Silva on the ground. No matter what you say about Anderson Silva, whether you hate this guy or you love him, this guy proves that he's the best. And Dana White is just going to give somebody that title of the greatest fighter of all time. He's just not going to give that to anybody. He's going to give it to someone who proves it. And if Anderson Silva at some point doesn't prove that he's the greatest fighter of all time, I guarantee you he'll get that moniker to somebody else. I guarantee you he'll get that title to somebody else. Anderson Silva is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. That's how I feel. That's how Dana White feels. That's how a lot of people feel. So, if you want to bitch about those 2 fights that he had, those 2 fights, the one he had with Tyler Latest and Damian Maia, did those fights suck? Oh yeah, those fights sucked. They sucked ass. They sucked. They were boring. Wasn't worth your money. He didn't perform. But that was a long time ago. Look what he's done since then. Look what the man's done since then. He whooped Forrest Griffin ass, made him look like an amateur. Who else he beat? Chael Sonnen twice. What's that other guy? Vitor Belfort. He beat him. The man has defended his title constantly. Constantly. The most successful fighter, at least within the last like 6 years. Let's be honest here. So you bring up guys like GSP, whoever. But if GSP truly was the #1 best fighter of all time, then GSP will get that title. Trust me, he'll give him that title. Dana White will give him that title of the greatest of all time. But although GSP is great, he's just not as great as Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva just had the greatest. He just had the greatest. Just had a better career. Just a little bit better. Just a whole lot better. 10 times defending his title better. So those are my thoughts on that. I love Anderson Silva. The man is still looking good, still looking great, still knocking people out, still in shape, not slowing down. He can still make money, so there ain't really no point in him retiring just yet. But that's how I feel about it. Yo, this is Wasn't Jones. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. I'm out. Deuces.